Good morning, boys and girls. Today you're going to need your Iready workbooks again. We are looking at diagrams, parts of a diagram, and what that tells us. So today we're going to open up to page 300, Wheels and Axles. Go ahead and pause the video anytime you need to. Wheels and Axles by Ed Green. A simple machine has few or no moving parts. One kind of simple machine is a wheel and axle. A wheel and axle can help move people or objects from one place to another. Wheels and axles are all around you. Cars and bicycles have wheels and axles. A skateboard has them. Even a Ferris wheel is really just a big wheel and axle. This simple machine has a large wheel. It also has a rod called an axle. The axle goes through the center of the wheel. When the axle is turned, the wheel also turns. So we read the passage, and there's a picture here of our Ferris wheel and here of our wheel and axle. In this purple box, it says, how does a wheel and axle work? Put a box around the paragraph that tells you how it works. So which one of these paragraphs tells us how does the wheel and the axle work? I would have put a box around paragraph 3 down here at the bottom because that's the paragraph telling us how it works. It says to circle the labels on the diagram that show two parts of the machine. Here's my diagram. So you would need to circle the two words that tell us the parts of a machine. Looking at page 301, right here, we have some multiple choice questions. Which sentence from the passage does the diagram help to explain? A wheel and axle can help move people or objects from one place to another. B, wheels and axles are all around you. C, cars and bicycles have wheels and axles. D, the axle goes through the center of the wheel. So if you're looking at the diagram, okay, what can you tell me? Looking at the diagram, which sentence would explain? If you picked D, you would be correct. That the axle, because I'm looking at this right here, goes through the wheel. So the answer would be D. Question 2. How does the diagram add to what the author tells us? A, it shows that the machine can have two or more axles. B, it shows that the axle must be long and heavy. C, it shows that wheels and axles turn in the same direction. D, it shows that many things around us have wheels and axles. What do you think the author is trying to tell us? So they want to know this diagram, how does it help with what's in this passage? I would have selected C. It shows that wheels and axles turn in the same direction. Number 3, talk. This article says that wheels and axles can help move people or objects from place to place. What does this mean? Hint, look at the article for examples of things that use wheels and axles. So if we go back and we look right here at wheels and axles, the article is telling us it helps people or objects move from place to place. What does that mean? I think it means that the wheels and axles turn together with that rod, helping people get from place to place. Like, for an example that they used was the bicycle or the skateboard, that they are on those types of pieces of transportation, like a bicycle, a skateboard, a car, a motorcycle. It helps us get from one place to the other. And you can participate with your class about your ideas for that. Number 4, short response. How does this article help you understand how wheels and axles work? Use one detail from the diagram and one detail from the text. Here's our text to support your answer. Write the answer on page 303. So what you're going to need to do on 303 here is use an example from the diagram and the passage. For example, you could write, this article tells me that the axle goes through the wheel. I saw that in the diagram. It says that the axle turns, so does the wheel. The diagram shows me that the wheel and axle turn the same way. That would be an example of what you could write there. What you're going to write on 302, it says, look at the diagram again. How does it help you to understand how that was from the inclined plane story. If you'd like to go back, how does that inclined plane work? And you'd have to go back and look at that passage that we did the other day to fill that one in. So you can pause the video to complete those short responses and then share with your teacher.